Affordable Care Act. This is the document that was passed by Congress that is going to intervene in, and control our health care decisions. I don't know to what extent Congressman Pallone wrote this bill, but it had to be an awful lot of work, because it's hard enough just to read it and to understand it. Now, we certainly learned when the bill was passed from Nancy Pelosi that we would have to pass the bill to see what's in it. And now we are seeing what's in it, and Americans don't like it. What we're seeing is government gathering information on Americans, making healthcare decisions, and advancing Frank Pallone's very complex architect bill that he architected or designed. We've learned just a few days ago that a key component of that bill, the employer mandate, which was supposed to be taking effect shortly, would be postponed until after this election, in fact, after next year's election. Because according to a White House spokesperson, it was only common sense that the implementation of this bill be stalled because of its impact on the economy and our jobs. We understand that employers of over 50 would have to be required to provide health care insurance for all of its employees or pay a penalty. We've seen how many businesses are keeping their employment rolls below that number 50. And we've seen and learned many studies about the impact, the negative impact on our business and our economy. I have a simple question for Frank Pallone, the architect of this monstrosity bill, of which a key component, a key foundation building block is the employer mandate. Does Frank Pallone support the president's delay of the employer mandate? Does Frank Pallone agree that that mandate will hurt jobs and hurt our economy? Or does he want his bill that he architected to be advanced in its full entirety? Does he want to continue the assault on Americans' economy? Frank Pallone says he's the architect of this bill. Where does he stand on the president using his imperial power to act without Congress's approval and stall the advancement of the employer mandate? We need to know these answers if you're going to run for the U.S. Senate. And if you're the person, that's correct, responsible for this bill. Frank Pallone has an obligation to explain to his constituents where he stands on this critical issue. You know, on January 1st, the individual mandate will also kick in. The individual mandate will say that any American who doesn't have health insurance is going to pay a fine to who? The IRS. Where does Frank Pallone stand on the individual mandate? Now that so many Americans who thought that we can get insurance under the employer mandate, does anybody notice the word mandate? How frequently we as Americans are mandated to do things we may not want to do? The government should never be interfering in decisions about life and death of us, our children, and our families. I'm calling on Frank Pallone to go one step further. Go to Congress as a congressman and have Congress vote to end the employer mandate in its entirety and to defund Obamacare.